Today on In the Wood Yard, I've got an order for some maple, so we're gonna chuck it in and deliver it. Here we go. So today I've got an order to fill, and I sold this guy some maple. Now, he's a past customer and he buys every other year. He buys 2 face cords. It's every other year, and I've done that for, well, I think this will be like the 3rd delivery now, so like 6 years. But it's not every year, it's every other year. He usually gets 2 face cords, and that's it. In the past, he's always bought oak. And I was talking with him when he called, and he says, he says, I just want hardwood. He said, in the past I've had oak and I've liked it. And he said, if you got that, that'd be fine. I said, well, actually, I've got lots of maple. I said, that's older. And I said, it's dry. And I said, I know you're burning it just in a fireplace. And he said, yep, that's all we do. I said, maple burns really good too, because I want to sell the maple. Because I want to get this stuff sold. All this behind me is a whole truckload here, because I eventually want to put a shelter here for the tractor. So I want to get this stuff sold. So I'm kind of pushing the maple, as the people say. So that just kind of made me think that maybe that's something I should talk about, and how you approach that. If you've got people that want a certain kind of wood but you're out, sell them the benefits of the other kinds of wood you have. I told them, I said, oh, this stuff is great. I said, the maple is older. I said, I've had it for over a year now. It's a really good burning wood for in a fireplace. I said, actually, it starts easier than oak. And I said, you'll get a little more flame out of it because it's just a little bit faster burning, but I said, it's very nice for a fireplace. And I said, if it doesn't matter, if it's not for heat, it's just for ambiance, I said, you'll like the maple. And he said, oh, that sounds good, I'll take that. So that's how I approached it, that's how I sold it, because I want to sell this stuff. And then what's going to happen is I'll sell it all, and then I'll get people that want it. And then I won't have any. Because all I got is this 1 truckload here. I've only sold, I think, 1 face card from it so far. Maybe two, I think. So anyway, we're going to load up this row right here I'm sitting on, and then we're going to load up part of this row right behind me here, so it'll be 2 face cords. So it's wood chucking time right now. Loaded. That took 12 minutes and 34 seconds. I timed it. I wanted to see. That's about as fast as I can go. So per face cord, 6-ish minutes, somewhere in there, a little more than that, 6.5 minutes. And so yeah, it's in. Now, there are guys that make comments on my channel every once in a while that are new to the channel and don't know that I do this partially for exercise, not only to make money. But guys will make comments like, dude, you got a tractor, use your tractor to load the wood. You've got a bucket. Well, for those of you that have actually used a bucket to load firewood, you know where I'm going with this. If the customer prefers their wood to be ground into the dirt and covered in sand and dirt and mud, and then when you scoop it, you get extra chunks of sod and dirt that you put on the wood with it, kind of like seasoning. If you like that, then a bucket's great. But if you don't want that, loading it by hand is the way to go. Keeps it clean. I have a lot of customers. I bet once a week somebody will call me and they'll say, yeah, I'm looking for some clean wood. And I say, well, all my wood is, cut, split, and stacked on pallets for a full year, sometimes even more. And then I cover it before winter to keep the snow and the wetness off of it, so it's basically dry like this stuff is. And the guys will ask, do you load it with a skid steer or do you load it with a bucket? I say, no, I hand load it off of my piles. They're pre-measured piles like you can see here. And so I know what I've got and I just throw it in. because I will hear them say, great, because the last load I got, a guy loaded it with a skid steer and he said it was about 50% dirt and sod and rocks and sticks. My wood is clean. That's what they want. The people I'm selling to are not dumping this out in their backyard where there's a wood boiler for the most part. These people are bringing it into their house for a fireplace. They want clean wood. So by loading it by hand, it's going to be the cleanest. Stacking it by hand is going to be the cleanest. Keeping it off the ground is going to be cleanest and driest. And that's what I have for a product. And that's why I sell out pretty much every year. People want good stuff. They're willing to pay a little extra for good stuff. And for those of you that want to use a machine, I don't know. How long would it take to load up? For those of you who might even load this, I know Larry, the what does he go by? Back 40, not Back 40 Larry, Backwoods. Anyway, Larry Hoddy, that's his, Hoddle, that's his name. Yeah, he loads with a skid steer, but he's in a shed a lot of times where he's got his wood, so he's scooping it and loading it. So he would know, and he watches my channel. So let me know, how long does it take you to load from beginning to end 2 face cords? I'm guessing it's probably 5, 6, 7 minutes, maybe a little more. I just did this in about 12 and it's clean, just saying. So that's it for the wood loading. Now I've got a little bit of time. I've got about, I don't know, probably a good hour before I have to leave to deliver this load. So I'm gonna go on the tractor over here, walk over this way, and I am going to move some logs that we didn't get to. Was it yesterday, day before? I don't know, last time I was doing loading. I got these logs sitting right here that are the rest of the oak that I bought that need to get moved to the back. And then the tractor's back here, that's where I move the other logs. So I'm gonna hop on the tractor and see if I can get that done before I have to go. Or before it rains, because it's supposed to rain. So there it is back there, that's where they're gonna go. So we're gonna hop on the tractor and move some logs. This is the fun part of the job. I like doing this. So there it is. The logs are moved. Ground is getting a little squishy here. I'm starting to dig some trenches here. I was coming in with the heavy loads. Some of those logs were pretty heavy on a couple of them there. Like this one here was a pretty heavy one. I could tell I was bouncing a little bit. Had one fall off on me the other day. Not a beautiful load, I mean, as far as positioning, but I'm gonna cut it up so it doesn't really matter. So there it is. That's a half of a load from John. A lot of big stuff in there, bigger stuff anyway. But it's all barkless, so good stuff. There's probably a bunch in it that's dry, so that'll be nice to get going on soon. And so my next plan of attack is that I want to get all of this stuff stacked here, all this oak, and then get that cut and then stacked and keep it all to the back, because I've got enough room here that I could put in a whole nother, probably for sure another truckload in here, because all this locust right here will all get stacked. That's all going to go as far as I can to this side over here, and then I'll be able to get more in here. So as I build this direction, I'll be able to just come out this direction with the wood and just work my way to the back. So that is my plan. So the next thing is going to happen is I'm going to go deliver the load of wood that I threw on, but that's still not for another half hour, 45 minutes. I don't have to leave because the guy's not going to be home. And it's starting to sprinkle out pretty good now. I kind of started to tear up the grass here a little bit. You see this here? Tractor's it's kind of soft, and the tractor's got pretty aggressive tires. They're not egg tires, but they're the 14s, and they still have really good traction. So there it is. That pile is moved. And then I got the pile of cherry next to it that is going to go and get cut pretty much right here. I think I'm going to cut it and move it back this direction where I'm starting to take the cherry from out of here, because the stuff that's in the racks there, that's already dry. So I'll just migrate it down this direction. What I'll do is as I split, I'll maybe just throw it into the trailer, then back up over here. And then as these open up, I'll start filling it in. So that's what's going to happen. So next, we're going to go do a dump. I am back in the wood yard after that last delivery, and you probably noticed when I was doing the unloading there, I didn't just dump it in the driveway. The reason I did that is it's supposed to rain a whole bunch more, like in an hour, and the guy knew he wouldn't be able to get it all done, so he asked if I could get it into the garage. I said no problem. I do that every once in a while for people that either are going to stack it in the back of their garage, or if they're going to take it through their back garage door to the back, which is what he was going to do. Or if it's, going to rain out in just a short amount of time, I'll back right into their garage if I can fit it in there. And then I'll tip up a little bit and shove it off. And people really appreciate that. I get a lot of tips by doing that. So that's what I did. I backed in and we shoved it off. And he was telling me as I was unloading there, he said, yeah, he just had his chimney cleaned. And he said that the chimney cleaning guy told him, he says, whoever you're buying your wood from, keep buying it from this guy, he said, because your chimney was spotless. And he said he only burns a couple face cords a year, and he gets his chimney checked every other year. And the guy told him, he said, you're buying really good wood. So that was good to hear. And so he was pretty happy. And he's got wood to go, so we're all done. So it's supposed to rain a little bit, so I'm pretty much going to be done for the day. I'm not going to do anything else out here because I got other work I got to get done. So that's it for today, folks. Thanks for watching. You know what to do. Hit the buttons, hit the like, the subscribe, the share, all that good stuff. Between now and tomorrow, when you come back, get outside and get cutting. Good night, Irene.